Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our daily get-together live here on Facebook every morning at 10:30 in the morning, where we exchange headlines, questions, ideas, topics, suggestions, comments about living in Puerto Vallarta as an English-speaking community of locals and trying to make the best of it. We get together pretty much every day of the week. Actually, we get together every day of the week. Some of you may not come by every day of the week, but we're always happy to welcome you. And if this is your first time here, my name is Paco, and we love to welcome you. So if you write the word new in your comment, we will be so very happy to give you a proper welcome. Also, if you have a specific questions that you would like to tackle during the broadcast, just write the letter Q before it, and we'll make sure to try to tackle it during the broadcast. And if not, we'll definitely get to it shortly thereafter, as we put together all the comments for the show. Oh, Luna's disappeared. I was getting ready to cue Luna. Luna, why did come back? Come back, baby. Okay, Luna's on a mission already. I want to introduce you to Luna. For those of you that don't know her, she is my assistant, but she's already doing her thing. Today, it is Monday, so we get to look at the latest headlines from our governor as they relate to COVID-19. We get to look at a couple of other interesting things about face masks. We get to meet a new lord, not a lady, but a lord that is so nasty. We don't even have a name for him yet, but we may come up with our very own name here during the broadcast. And I have some interesting tips about the season, which is coming up. I want to talk about the holiday season, and I'm curious as to how much you love it and you hate it, how much you overload on it. So we'll get a chance to figure out how to best address our rants and raves about the holiday season, because it's right around the corner, and we need to take a look at how we feel about that. Anyhow, before we get started, let me very quickly take a quick look at your initial comments. Everybody's here. I love it. Fluvial is in the house. Hello, Dina. It's great to see you. Bronica's here from rainy Toronto. Brad and Monica Zimmel. Lovely. Paul always joins us from Boston. It's great to see him. And it's great to see everyone here in our cluster, of course. Rita is about to head back. Good for you, Rita. I hope your trip is very safe and that you make it home without incident. Let's see. Gary is almost around the corner as well. This is all great. Jorge was not around yesterday during Sunday Funday. We had a great time. In case you missed it, we got all phallic. we got a little phallic. And of course, Jorge chimed in later on, and it was fun to watch you laugh about all the alburero, Jorge. It was great to see your comments later on. Sherry joins us just about every day. It's great to see you. Craig is in Oklahoma. Everybody's here. I love it. Eric is joining us with the entire administrative team of the new Quales Hotel, the Quales PV Hotel, right in front of Encanto, right next to the river. I am looking forward to seeing that construction once it's finished. We had a chance to visit the project a while back, and it seemed fascinating. Marcus is collecting 3-liter Coke bottles. Can I take them somewhere for recycling? I hope the community has a good answer for you. I personally don't know of a specific place, but hopefully we'll get something coming on today. Let's see. Ed says he finally gets a top fan destination. Yay! That's wonderful. That's wonderful. As you know, Facebook decides when you become a top fan on anything, and it's great to see that you are having a good time here with us. Let's see. A good question here, Paco and Cluster. I am trying to find a good place to buy beef steaks and rats. Also, pork tenderloin. We don't shop at non-Mexican stores, so no Walmart, no Costco, no Sam's. Only local suggestions. If anybody knows of a good meat butcher in town, it'll be interesting to see what you know and what you have to say. Joe asks, have I had a time to watch season number 4 of The Crown? I have. Oh my God. And I even have a link about it today to share. And it won't be a spoiler. Even if you haven't watched The Crown, you'll be able to get a kick out of this particular link that I'm going to share today. Let's see. Lots of great comments from everybody today. Myrna hasn't met Luna. Doesn't know if Luna is a dog. Actually, Luna is a kitty cat. She is. She's my companion, and she's wonderful, and she's absolutely wonderful. And once she comes back, I will be happy to show you Luna. Oh, there's some great recommendations for carnicerias, for butcher shops. Thank you very much for that. And yet another one, and everybody's recommending the same one, Colin Carniceria in Emiliano Zapata. If that's the one on Basilio Vadillo, I know exactly where it is, but if not, I'm not sure about that one. But I'm so very happy that I see many recommendations for Carniceria Colin. Good for you. Okay, so let's get started with the show because we have quite a few things to cover. As you know, we start with the news, so let's just go there. Bam! As always, we begin with the latest remarks that come from our Governor Enrique Alfaro regarding the numbers that he reveals to us every Sunday afternoon, and here are his comments. He says, I'm leaving you the parameters for Jalisco's COVID numbers from this week. The occupation in public hospitals is under 25%, and the positivity rate that Radar Jalisco is tracking is maintaining it stable. But there are municipalities and regions with high risk, like Los Altos, and we have to be mindful of that. We are the first in Mexico, the first state, to prepare to apply the vaccine when it becomes available, but we still have a lot of road to travel, and we cannot let our guard down in this new normality. We know how to avoid getting the disease and how to avoid spreading others, so let's commit to it. Next week, we will be defining specific measures per municipality. I will keep you posted. So as you can see from these numbers, from this statement, the state is slowly gravitating to being more specific on what is going on each one of the municipalities. And I'll show you some graphs that will show you how the state is going to share this information with us. We first start with our general occupation chart. And this is, again, in public hospitals. I know that there are some people that have friends that work in private hospitals here in town, and the numbers there might be different. Let us be mindful of the fact that this chart is only for public hospitals, where we see that there's a 24.8% general occupation of COVID-19 patients and 42.2% occupation in intensive care units. Moving right along, we see our percentage of occupation of hospital beds per region. As you can see, Puerto Vallarta is over here as part of the Costa Sierra Occidental zone, and we are at 14.5%. The highest numbers, of course, being close to Guadalajara City. And there are some parts of the country, like the parts of the state where there are no hospital beds being occupied for COVID. Here are the numbers for positivity, which is the percentage of people that take the test and result positive. These are the numbers for the last 4 weeks. We are here at 31.6%. And then we have this other one, which shows us again how all the different municipalities of the state are doing, whether they are either on a high risk point or just a general risk. Here is Puerto Vallarta. We can see it over here. And Puerto Vallarta is in the risk zone, but not the high risk zone. There are 78 municipalities in the high risk zone. And it's good to see that Puerto Vallarta is not there. However, favorite places like San Sebastián del Oeste is definitely part of the high-risk zone, given the number of the population that they have and the number of cases that are presently in each one of those municipalities. And this is how the government is defining if a municipality is in high risk or not high risk. It says, in Jalisco, all municipalities are in risk because of the number of cases. That said, there are some municipalities that are in a higher risk. That would be the municipalities in the dark blue. And this is because of the tendency of active cases going up, or the tendency of percentage of positive tests is going up, or there are not enough tests to measure the numbers in that particular municipality. So these are the parameters that are being used by the government now to show us what is going on in the state more on a municipal level. Let me take a quick look at your comments to see if there's anything, something that comes up to mind. Let me take a quick look. I know that our friend Tapia has asked me, and I haven't mentioned this to our friends from the real estate community. My friend Tapia, our friend Tapia, is in the process of buying a piece of land here in Puerto Vallarta, and he reached out to me privately saying that they're about to sign some papers, and it was recommended that a lawyer looked at these papers for him. So if anybody from our real estate community can recommend a lawyer for Tapia to be able to take a look at the papers that they're signing as they're purchasing a new piece of land, it would be very much appreciated. I know that he is in California with his family, so they're trying to do this from afar. So there you have it. Hopefully something will come out of this get together today. And let's see, there it is. He's looking for a legal advisor or an asesor legal. Pilar says the numbers are the same as when he pushed the emergency button. 835 new cases, hospital occupancy cases higher than 30 days ago. Pilar, please let us know where you're getting these figures, because if they're not coming from an official source, they might be a source of confusion for some. So if these numbers are so, please show us where you got the numbers from. Steve asks, did Mexico make its own vaccine, or will there be relying on another country's vaccine? Mexico is making deals with vaccine manufacturers. I know that because we've talked about it in the past. I don't know exactly which vaccines Mexico is making deals with and when these vaccines will be available in our country. But no, Mexico is not producing its own vaccines. I know. I get this mixed up, and somebody called me on it. Occupancy and occupation. My apologies. What I mean is the number of people that are actually in the hospitals, not the people that have jobs at them. Pilar tells us that Mexico will be making its own vaccine. That's great to know, Pilar. Again, if you have a source of information, we would love to see it. Another recommendation for a butcher. Thank you very much. That means PV is in the high risk category. PV is not in the high risk category according to the government right now. Just to clarify, it's not a vaccine developed in Mexico, but there will be vaccines produced here. Thank you very much for that clarification, Paul. And again, if you're getting this information from reliable sources, it would be really good to know. Pilar, thank you very much for clearing that up. If the numbers come from Radar Jalisco, well, these are the numbers that we've been keeping track of. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so let us move right on because we still have quite a few headlines to share. Also, COVID related. There was a presentation in one of the nightly COVID press conferences that we have here in Mexico from the health secretary saying that the face masks that have valves in them are no good because the valves do allow microparticles to go in um, go in and out through those valves. So if you are being told that you should get one of those face masks that have valves in it, it's probably not going to help you all that much. The same thing applies, and we were talking about this the other day about those clear shields. We see them a lot in restaurants, people that have to wear them all the time. Well, the clear shields are not going to help molecules from flying all over the place either. So if you see somebody that is approaching you and he or she is wearing a clear shield, well, make a choice as to whether you wish to interact with this person or not. What else do we have here? Oh, yes. Disney has announced that they will resume their cruises on the 31st of January here in Puerto Vallarta. They are constantly focused on the health and well-being of our guests and team members. We continue to review carefully the guide from the CDC in the United States, and we're working to resume our operations. Again, this will be at the end of January. So there you have it. Cruises are something that is very controversial for some people, but one way or another, the arrival of cruise ships is always a good sign for our destination because of all the financial or economic prosperity they bring with. And let us hope that Disney indeed is taking the most the most care they can in order to let the ships come back. This question came from a Coffee and Headlines viewer yesterday, privately, and because the answer may apply to some more than just them, I figured we would tackle it here. We're flying into PV December 5th and just wanted to know how the numbers are with COVID, up or down. Well, the numbers seem to be doing better, but it's a difficult question to answer simply because it's a variable. The question is, are the numbers better or worse than what they are like where you're coming from? The second part says we have our face masks, hand sanitizer, hand wipes, and microban spray sanitizer. Good for you. I had to look up microban spray sanitizer because I had never heard of this product. Apparently, it's something that is sold north of the border, so it must be really good. I don't even know if we sell that here, but we have other sanitizers available. If you want to bring your own, I don't see any problem with that. And then the last part, we will be there for 4 months. Any other suggestions? Our condo is in Conchas Chinas and not many people around us. Well, it seems to me that you two gentlemen are going to be in a perfect place if you're not surrounded by people. What I would recommend is that you research the local guidelines, or watch the show and where we talk about the local guidelines repeatedly. Those being, number one, wear a face mask out and about wherever you go. Number two, keep safe distance. Number three, avoid large crowds. And number four, just leave your home if you absolutely need to leave your home. So if you are staying in Conchas Chinas, there are all kinds of delivery services that will bring you stuff. If you want to come out, there are Ubers, and you can ride an Uber safely because they have a face mask policy and you should be wearing yours as well. So you should be fine. You should be fine. And that is our question from a viewer that we addressed today. And with that said, let me take a quick look at your comments before we move on to our leisurely stuff. Leslie asks, is Nuevo Vallarta in high risk for COVID? I don't think so. Nuevo Vallarta is the safety of Nuevo Vallarta is determined by the national parameters. They are different from the parameters here in Puerto Vallarta. And I believe Nuevo Vallarta is in the yellow right now, which is a low warning level. I couldn't tell you. We usually look at those numbers on Friday, which is when the federal government releases new numbers for the whole country. Let's see. There's some recommendations for Tapia. Excellent. Thank you very much. Um, oh, interesting. That's good to know. Airlines will not let you fly with a mask that has a valve. Food for thought. Um, El Financiero reported that the Carlos Slim organization will produce the Oxford and AstraZeneca vaccine. Interesting. Thank you very much, Paul. Um, let's see what else. What else? What else? What else? What else? Um, Work is interesting with my pandemic schedule. Excellent, Terry. It's a good thing that work is interesting. I hope you're keeping busy and you're keeping happy. Let us take a look at the weather. Good news. It's 25 degrees Celsius. Again, it feels like 27 degrees. It is 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity is at 66%. Today is a perfect day to rob a bank, says our snarky weather, carrot weather service. And we find out that today is going to be a humid day throughout the day with a high temperature of 28. Tuesday, it's going to be clear through the day, high temperature of 28. And the same thing for Wednesday, it's going to be clear through the day. So fair weather, wonderful winter weather here in Puerto Vallarta. And speaking of winter, I am just wondering how you're feeling about the holiday season in general. If anybody has a specific thing that you're looking forward to or that you're dreading about the holiday season, I would love to find out about it. I myself sometimes look forward to being festive with friends, but realize that this year is going to be very different. I wonder if you feel overwhelmed when you walk into the supermarket. Sometimes I do. I get a kick out of people buying too many things. So we're going to be talking about the holidays. I will be talking about the holidays as they're celebrated in Mexico, so that you can learn more a little bit about this if this is something that you want to learn more about. Moving right along, I got contacted this morning by our wonderful friend Araceli, the cookie lady. And she tells us that she has started to make peanut butter. She wrote peanut butter cookies. So if you run into Araceli out and about, please make sure that you try some of her new peanut butter cookies. For those of you that don't know her, Araceli is a dear friend of our community. She lives in the northern part of the bay, and she hops on a bus every single day to the Colonia Emiliano Zapata neighborhood, and she walks from place to place selling her cookies, and she makes them herself, and they're absolutely yummy. So it is always good to support her because she is a super, super lady. I also want to ask you if you have any idea of what the word of the year is according to Merriam-Webster. The word of the year this year, and this should not surprise you, is pandemic. Why am I sharing this with you? Why not? The word of the year is pandemic. The runners up are coronavirus, quarantine, asymptomatic. Oh dear, why does that appear in there? I was reading the other words. Well, we got a video instead. I don't know how to get rid of this video. But anyhow, now you know it. Pandemic is the word of the year. Who would have thunk it? I also have some news about, oh my God, this is the Lord. We have a Lord. And there's not even a name for him yet because this is a brand spanking new Lord. And he is a Lord from the state of Jalisco. This very nice gentleman seemed to get a kick out of sitting on his car, in his car. Do you sit on a car? Do you sit in a car? You sit in a car because you're inside. This guy sits in his car and spanks the monkey, literally. So apparently he gets a kick out of doing this, and this woman apparently decided, I see what's going on here, but I'm not gonna let it happen. She just said, give me 1 second, whipped out her phone, and took photographs of him and took photographs of his license plate. And now he has been identified. Apparently he is working for a drugstore, and the drugstore called Pharmapolis has said, well, we will not put up with this. So he has no longer a job. He has been fired. And now, if you see a strange looking man on a green car, and those are his license plates, and he starts spanking the monkey, well, he has not yet learned his lesson. He does not have a name, but if I was going to give him a Mexican name, I would say he is Lord Chaqueta. Now, why chaqueta? And chaqueta means jacket. It's because chaqueta is a very common slang in Spanish for spanking the monkey. So I've decided this guy should be called Lord Chaqueta. And that's just me. Now, two more headlines before we go, actually three. Let me tell you that we were talking about. Oh, no. Masturbation is not gross. Masturbation is lovely. Well, I think masturbation is lovely. I'm sorry that you think masturbation is gross, Mushi. Um, Unless, well, never mind. I'm not even going to go there. I don't think masturbation is gross. Let's see. Sean says he should be called Lord Pepino. I love it. I love it. Oh my God, really? Did you see the news about the Zoom meeting about women to discuss violence against women? And some young men logged in and started masturbating. That's disgusting. That is so very sad. There is a video on YouTube. Actually, violence against women is something that is very present here in Mexico, and apparently they adapted a seat on some of the subway cars in Mexico City that it has the shape of an erect penis. And they put it there in the subway, and there's a great video because the video shows people reacting to it. How guys sat on it, and then all of a sudden, they get up and they're startled, and it's just a reminder of what it's like, that there are all these pervs that are rubbing their gifts against other people when they're riding the subway. Not a nice thing to do. Anyhow, let's not talk about too many pepinos today. We were talking about The Crown just a second ago, and I'm going to show you something absolutely wonderful, and I am not going to spoil the show in any way. Because as we know, Gillian Anderson plays Margaret Thatcher on the show, and apparently there is a comedian, well, not apparently, I saw the video just a second ago. There is a British impersonator, comedian Kieran Hodgson, who shared a video poking fun at all the characters, and you'll find it here. And he just goes from one character to the next, imitating them, and he does it beautifully. And apparently Gillian Anderson, or Jillian, I'm not even sure, she saw this guy's impersonation of Margaret Thatcher, and she thought that it was absolutely genius. So you can take a look at this video, and you will not be spoiling yourself if you are presently watching The Crown. And because we have a lot of friends that are always asking about vegan stuff here on the program, I ran into this link from Greatest that shows several recipes for veggie tacos. And in case you wanted to explore these are actual tacos, not like taco salad or taco cake or taco dip or taco soup or all these other strange taco aberrations that we see from time to time. These are bona fide vegan tacos. So if you want to try some of these recipes, I will share the link with you so that you can try them out. Let me take a quick look at your comments before I show you the very last headline that I have from you. Let's see. Pilar, thank you very much for reaching out into your sources and sharing the news information. I am not meaning to contradict your statements, but it is very difficult when people come online here at Coffee and Headlines and they share what they heard from someone that is not a legitimate or credible news source. When you take the time to show us what your links are, you help me and help us gain confidence and trust on the information sources. So I appreciate that very much. I'll be reading those links very, very carefully. Muchísimas gracias. La da 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 da. David says it's kind of like the MBTA at rush hour. Yes, I remember some things. Sean asked Gillian Anderson, as in the truth is out there, and the answer is yes. She is an amazing Margaret Thatcher on the show. You wouldn't think it, but she was absolutely wonderful. Yes, from the X Files. And this is pretty much all that I have for you today. I was looking at yesterday's comments after uh, ex, um, we enjoyed the pleasure or the quirkiness of seeing shapes out there, out and about that look like penises. And one of the comments from yesterday said, "Try Googling why you don't put Christmas lights on a palm tree." And I was like, okay, I'm going to Google this. And this is what I got. So indeed, it never occurred to me, but you know, when you put Christmas lights on a palm tree, it looks rather, well, festive, I might say. And this is what we did yesterday, and that's what Sundays and Fun Days are about. And of course, this is the end of our broadcast today. As always, it is wonderful to see friends old and new, recent and not so recent, joining us every day. It is a pleasure to start the week with you. Some last minute comments. Do airlines allow use of plastic face shields without masks? I would be surprised if they do, Eleanor, because they're not effective. They are not effective at all. But it is worth asking a specific a specific airline if you're concerned about this. Let's see. Oh, thank you very much, Sherry. It is a pleasure to be here. Dunn is checking his palm trees for a new project. Send us photographs, please. We'd like to see how that turns out. And that's it. This is the end of Coffee and Headlines today. As always, I wish you an excellent week. Tomorrow is the first day of December. Can you believe this whole year has come and gone? It's one of those things. Anyhow, stay kind, stay well informed, stay balanced, stay well fed, stay well taken care of, and stay cautious and stay in touch. And I will see you again sometime in the near future, hopefully tomorrow. Have a good day.